time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. This is real sports talk for the real sports fan. Talk to him, Swain.
Give it to his house and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. If you're looking to dine in somewhere, you don't want to cook, you want some award-winning grub, you go to Dead End Barbecue on Southern Avenue. You want to cater an event, you call Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. I'm Jason Swain, live from the Low T Center studio. Hope everyone is having a great morning. Ben McKee, Go Vols 2-4-7. Side today. A lot to get to. Tennessee basketball, Tennessee football, a ruling that with Joey Aguilar that's going to affect the 2026 football season. So we got a lot to get to. Ben McKee, my man. First, I want to share with everyone who is watching on the Swain Event live stream. If you are watching, there's a QR code there that will directly send you to the GoFundMe page of the Rucker family, support Team Rucker. And as everyone knows in Vol Nation, Wes Rucker passed away Thursday night in a car accident, and he leaves behind his wife, who was pregnant, his son, Hank, his mom, Marty, his dad, Rawhide, my man, his sister, Molly, and his younger brother, Grant, and countless other family members and friends. Ben, you work with Wes. I work with Wes. My start in radio involved Wes Rucker. My start in TV involved Wes Rucker. The response from everybody has been amazing. They have raised a lot of money for his family. His family's going to need it. Wes suffered a stroke years ago that impacted his ability to get the type of life insurance that he needed for his family. Went through a career change. I won't say career change, but a job change. Still covering the volunteers, and so they could use all the help that they can get. Services will be tomorrow. I saw where Anna Sparks posted that, and so Ben, I'll give you the floor, and then we'll get into it, man. Wes would have wanted us to have a great show, and that's the plan, my man. We got a lot of content to get to, a lot's going on, like I mentioned with Tennessee football and basketball. But Ben, the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, just going to really miss Wes, obviously, having worked with him the last few years. We traveled the country together, covering the Vols for the NCAA basketball tournament, the NCAA baseball tournament, stayed in a hotel room with him for 2 weeks while Tennessee won the national championship in baseball. Just countless drives to Orlando, to Detroit, to SEC towns, flights to New York. We spent a lot of time together the last 3 years before he moved over to WBIR, and he was a really talented writer. He was certainly very opinionated, as we all are. But, Wes had this persona on Twitter, and I think it's cool that that persona does not define him. And not that there was anything wrong with that at all, but the public thought one thing and reality was the other. And I think the thing that stands out to me the last couple of days is just who you are as a person matters far more than anything else. And who Wes is as a person has stood out tremendously the last couple of days. If anybody has read all the stories, a great family man. As much as he loved journalism, loved sports, and as talented of a writer as he was a 10 million times better father, better husband, better friend, better son, better brother, you name it. Wes was the best. And you hear people say that, hey, I'll get my shirt off my back to help anybody. Wes truly would do that for anybody. He did not meet a stranger. He could talk to a brick wall. He treated everybody the same. And so many in my profession have the same story. And I hope people saw a lot of those stories on social media. But first time I met Wes was when I was fresh out of college in the Lindsey Nelson Stadium press box. And he talked to me like we had known each other for years, as if I was not fresh out of college, as if I was not trying to establish myself in this profession where a lot of ego is involved in this profession. There was no ego with Wes. He treated everybody the same and welcomed everybody and lent a helping hand. He reached out, hey, how can I help you? And he pursued helping you as well. Wes was just the absolute best, as genuine of a soul as you were going to find, true to himself. He told you what he thought, and if you disagreed with it, you disagreed with it, but you were going to know how he felt, and just so many qualities about Wes. And I'm just devastated for him because, yes, he was 43 years old, and that was young. Don't get me wrong, but had a young family for a 43-year-old and so much more life to give. Molly, I don't know if she's had her baby yet, but Wes either recently or was about to become an uncle in addition to welcoming their second child into the world. Hank is only 4. He still had so much life to give. And Molly voiced that in her Twitter post that she posted over the weekend, is that they had already gone through so much life together, but there's this sense of, man, we still have so much more to do and so much more to celebrate, and the best is still yet to come. So yes, he just went through the job change, and it was a little bit of a different role for him, more digital, more television. But just in speaking to him after games and seeing him at UT events, he just seemed like he had fallen in love with that aspect of journalism and was really fired up about working for WBIR and his baby girl that was on the way. And I'm just so devastated for Wes individually, and then of course his family as well. And he will certainly be missed. I'm miss seeing him in the press box. I probably pick on him too much, like the little brother I was not. But that was one of the good things about Wes, is he could take a joke better than anybody, and he would dish it right back to you as well with his wittiness. So I will miss a lot about Wes, and I will certainly miss sharing a press box with him and learning from him as well. He was a great mentor for me as I continue in this profession, and my heart breaks for him and Lauren and the rest of their family. That's a loss that's going to be felt for a long time.
So the QR code is at the bottom of the screen if you are watching the show. It takes you right to GoFundMe account, and you can support his family. Tennessee got some unfortunate news on Friday, and that is the denial of Joey Aguilar being able to play an extra season at the University of Tennessee. My opinion has been my opinion the whole entire time about whether I thought he deserved another year or not. I didn't think he deserved another year, but wanted him to have it. The judge, Tennessee ties here in Knoxville, did not feel like he deserved another year, and so Tennessee moves on, and that means G-Mac, George McIntyre. That means Faison Brandon, and that means Ron Staub. And George McIntyre has the lead. He is and should be the favorite to be the starting quarterback at Tennessee. So Faison Brandon is talented, very, very talented. And you can go look at how these guys are compensated through NIL to understand, who's going to have every opportunity to win the job. And that doesn't mean that Ron Staub doesn't have a chance at all, but he's coming in as number 3, and he's going to have to be head and shoulders better to even have an opportunity. So it looks like a George McIntyre show for Tennessee, and that's good for him. Tennessee kid who spent a year learning from Joey Aguilar, and you recruit players. You recruit good players to play them. And Josh Heupel and Housley will have opportunity to show, once again, how they're really good at putting quarterbacks in position to be successful inside this offense. So that means that everybody else has to be good. The surrounding supporting cast, offense, defense, special teams, has to be good. You win as a team. You don't win just because of the quarterback play. So I'm excited for George McIntyre. I thought he threw the ball the best out of any other quarterback during fall camp. The 2 scrimmages that I went to, and he has a nutritionist that's different than the one he had last year, and the strength staff that's different than the one he had last year, hoping to get some results so that way he can be able to physically hold up inside of this conference. So it's time to roll, my man. You was in Nashville for Tennessee's basketball win over Vanderbilt, and I certainly want to get your take on that. I want to get to the phones, 865-250-503, the Marcos Garza hotline, Garza Law hotline, garzalaw.com. Why trust an out-of-state law firm when you have someone right here inside of the community doing amazing work that's connected inside of the Knoxville community like Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm? Let's get to the phones, 865-250-503. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, it's Dustin.
What's up, Dustin?
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, prayers to the Rucker family, and then one quick question. You got the best baseball guy for Tennessee sports on this show, so I'm going to ask Ben a question this morning.
Yes, sir.
When Elander got the job, he stated that he was going to do the checking over on the bases and things of that nature. And I was kind of leery of that because it seems like so many times when you check the bases or check the runner on the base pads, things like in the game that happened the other day, the catcher throwing the ball away happens more than you do than actually getting the runner out. My question, Ben, is do you think as the season goes along, the catcher gets more accurate? I mean, I'm not a big, baseball. I mean, I watch Tennessee baseball. That's it. So, the longer the season goes, does the catcher get more accurate, or are you going to have more chances of throwing the ball away instead of getting the outs on the bases? Just want to hear your thought on it. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate you calling in. Hope you and yours are doing well. I don't know. I hate to give you that answer, but I don't know. Just because Stone Lawless is still unproven at this point. Do I think he's better than this past weekend? Yes, absolutely. But he's still young and experience-wise. I know he played a decent amount last year, but I still feel like he is growing, and Tennessee certainly feels like he's pretty good defensively or really good defensively, and that's a question. This is a question that I need to ask: is do they feel like he's good defensively because of his ability to throw runners out, or are they looking at this new age way of how evaluators look at the catcher's position, where they value just as much their ability to frame pitches and steal strikes? So pitches that are out of the strike zone, their ability to catch those and frame it for the umpire to make it look like a strike, present it as a strike. Analytically, they believe Stone is really good. So I'd be curious to know kind of where, because they've maintained that Stone is good defensively, but do they believe that's because of his arm, or do they believe that's because of his ability to do the things that matter analytically? But he is better than what we saw this past weekend, and only time will tell whether that's going to be an issue for Tennessee or not. Stone Lawless did have labrum surgery towards the back end of his high school career, coming out of good old Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Alabama, Swain's arch rival from his high school days. So had a labrum surgery that kind of set him back physically and developmental wise. But he should not be making the throws that he made this past weekend. I'm more inclined to think that it was a one-off this past weekend, but only time will tell. And I guess the good news for Tennessee is that if Stone can't get going in that regard, or if that does become an issue, you have a guy in Garrett Wright who we have not seen yet this season, but he transferred from Bowling Green, where he was a really good defensive catcher at Bowling Green, can also play center field, is a good hitter. We'll see if the hitting translates to the SEC, but he's a really good defensive catcher. So if Stone can't get it figured out, then theoretically you have somebody that you can slide in there and is going to provide you with good defense.
865-255-03. Yeah, that wasn't the best case scenario for Tennessee baseball. Having a new stadium, having a new coach, having so many questions around what led to getting a new coach, with the baseball program, and then going out and losing that one that way in that fashion. So, opportunity to bounce back. There's a lot of baseball to be played. 865-255-03. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, Turkey Man?
Hey, real quick, you got a big show, and there's a lot of questions that could be asked. I'm gonna keep mine to a minimum. First of all, Swain, if you got a minute, maybe give your favorite Wes Rucker story, and Ben, baseball. I want you to kind of enlighten us what you think the ceiling for this team is, because they got a lot of growth. I see a lot of potential. Things that can kind of concern me. We kind of did some stupid thing on the base path in the last game or two. I noticed we got picked off and shut down the momentum. But pitching, I see potential. Hitting, I see potential. But in this last game that we played, that we lost the series, what was they able to do to keep our bats from really producing in the way they needed to? But anyhow, I'll get off, guys. Love you as always, and God bless you. And remembering Wes family. And I know, Swain, that you are hurt in a special way. So we got you too, buddy.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Turkey Man. When Wes got married to Lauren, there was a period after you get married between the ceremony and then like the reception, and so they were back in a room. They were eating, and the guests, we haven't been served yet. I think that was like the cocktail hour or whatever in between the service itself, and then all the dancing that goes on and the dinner. And Wes's dad came up to me, and I don't know how, but like, dude, me and my wife went, but I ended up going back there with Wes and his new bride Lauren, and it was just me, Rawhide, Wes's dad, Wes, and Lauren just hanging out, chilling, and they were just so like nonchalant about it, and just chilling and chit chatting and talking, and so like I remember coming back out, and my wife was like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "I was back there hanging out." And usually that never really happens, I guess, but I knew that was the perfect girl for Lauren, because like she was just like, we just chilling, man. We just hanging out. Man, my first co-host with Wes Rucker, my first time doing TV was Wes. He's been to my house, him and Lauren, for dinner. I helped him move to his house where they live now. When I got married, he traveled to Atlanta to be right there supporting me. He loved my family. He was super proud of me every time, I would do something, whether it was Vol Network or, doing something with Tennessee. He was my biggest cheerleader. You can see that on social media. So I got a lot of stories about Wes, but he's a good one. And Ben said it when, he spoke about Wes. The most important thing when it all is said and done is what Wes was. And that's just a good dude, a good person. Like, you can agree or disagree with, political takes or sports takes or how someone decides to answer a question or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, are you a good person? Like, are you a good person? Wes was a great person who cared about other folks. And that's the most important thing. And that's why Wes and I got along. That's why we became friends and we're friends, even to this day. It's because at the end of the day, man, like his heart was good. It was pure. And I'm going to miss him. Ben, as far as like Turkey Man's question about the squad, like should you've lost the series? Yes and no. Yes, because they outplayed you and they deserve to win. No, because you got more talent. But I don't think we need to be freaking out too much here. Do we, Ben, or do we need to be freaking out? Normally, you don't freak out this early in the season.
No need to freak out, but there are certainly things to be concerned about.
Yeah.
It was disappointing, but also not surprising to see so many people take the low-hanging fruit this weekend of, well, if Tony was here, this would not have happened. Oh, Josh Elander, he's Michael Early 2.0, not going to work here. Like, was it ugly this weekend? Yes. But last I checked, Tony Vitello put this roster together with the help of Josh Elander. Last I checked, the issues we saw this weekend are the same issues we saw throughout SEC play last season when the previous head coach was the head coach. And I do not mean that to be a criticism of Tony Vitello whatsoever. I do not mean to make excuses for Josh Elander whatsoever. I'm just simply referencing how disappointing it was to see people take low-hanging fruit off of one weekend. There are things to be concerned about moving forward, but this weekend, much like how the basketball team season wasn't determined or sealed or finished in December and January, the baseball team's season is not decided the second weekend of the season. But there are certainly a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. There's no way around that. And they better do it in a hurry with some of the competition that they're going to face this weekend, especially on Friday when they play number one UCLA and the potential number one overall pick in the country in UCLA shortstop. But in terms of Turkey Man's question about the ceiling, I mean, this team has the talent to go to Omaha. It's just going to be a matter of, can it clean up the mistakes along the way as they continue to develop? And there is a lot of inexperience on the position player side of things. According to Mark Etheridge of D1 Baseball, Tennessee is the most inexperienced group of position players in the SEC. They're talented, but they're still young and inexperienced. So there's some growth that needs to take place. The ceiling is Omaha, but there's a lot of growth that needs to be that needs to take place and a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. I mean, it was like Little League baseball at times this weekend with some of the errors, the hit by pitches, the lack of situational hitting. It was just no command of the baseball, just a lot of issues that need to be cleaned up. And the hitting, I think it was just kind of one of those weekends where nothing really went right and it started to spiral on them. And there's a couple of those sophomores that need to get going, because in order for Tennessee to reach its full potential offensively this season, that sophomore class has to carry quite a bit of the load.
865-255-03 is our number. to the Garza Law Hotline. Again, 865-255-03. We'll take a halftime timeout today here on the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland Avenue right here in Knoxville. You can even have it delivered right to your door through Chow Now. Visit their website at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Just because you can't call in doesn't mean that you have to sit on the sideline. Impact the show with a text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Guys, you can feel your energy slipping away, losing what makes you, you. It could be low testosterone. Take action now. Low T Center can help reclaim your energy with a quick and simple free T-test. Visit Low T Center and receive pharmaceutical-grade testosterone never compounded like other clinics. Experienced providers increase your testosterone to the level that is just right for you. Treatment is covered by most major insurance with affordable self-pay options available. The best you is waiting. Book your free T-test at trtmvp.com. When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland.
What's up, Swain Event crew? Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. Fall sports can be a roller coaster ride for us fans. The excitement, drama, and passion will make us crazy sometimes. I can't manage the games, but I can help you manage your real estate needs while you're cheering on the Vols. Reach out at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03. Ben McKee, Go Vols 247. Jason Swain here with you. How was the trip to Nashville, Ben? How was that environment? Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt obviously was playing better from the start of the season up to that point. I think Tennessee in the last couple of weeks have been playing some great basketball. The line had Vanderbilt winning. Kim Palm had Vanderbilt winning, but they don't determine the outcome on the court. Tennessee handled Vanderbilt. From your view, what stood out to you about Tennessee's win against Vanderbilt?
Just like Tennessee is better than Kentucky on paper, but the games did not play out that way. I'm kidding. Not really, but we're not going to get into that today.
It's best if we don't, for your sake.
Yeah. First, I do want to encourage everybody to reach out to Jennifer Morris for all of their real estate needs. Jennifer Morris of Keller Williams Realty. She wanted me to pass it along to encourage everybody to hold their family and friends close. I'm no life guru, but I've lived long enough to see what truly matters at the end of the day. Love my guys, Swain and Ben, and lots of love for the Swain Event family. I appreciate Jennifer saying that. Of course, as we've said a million times before, so many members of our Swain Event family has worked with Jennifer for all of their real estate needs, and She's the absolute best and can help you accomplish whatever you're looking to accomplish. So please reach out to Jennifer Morris of Keller Williams Realty for all of those real estate needs. The basketball game was really fun on Saturday. I think I talked about it last week. I was looking forward to getting over there for that game. I know that you feel a little bit different, and I'm sure I'm in the minority here, but I really like when Tennessee and Vanderbilt play each other, really in any sport. It's mostly been basketball and baseball over the years, and football has picked up recently with Clark Lee and his emergence. But that's good old-fashioned hate, man. Vanderbilt hates Tennessee. Tennessee hates Vanderbilt, and there's always some drama involved. It's always highly entertaining. You can usually sit back and enjoy it with some popcorn. Popcorn is usually needed. So I enjoy the battles between the two schools in all the sports, and that's why I was looking forward to getting over there, just because I know how much each team dislikes each other, each school, fan base, students, so on and so forth. You had Jalen Carey returning. There's a lot of energy in the building. Very surprised. Not a good Vanderbilt crowd. The gym was sold out. There weren't many empty seats in the gym, but there were a lot of Tennessee fans taking up a lot of space. It was basically Tennessee fans versus the Vanderbilt student section. I'm sure there were, but there weren't many other Vanderbilt fans aside from the student section. I was very impressed by the turnout of Tennessee fans, and I think that came through on the TV and some of the photos that were taken as well, and that were shown on social media. Tennessee fans were as loud as Vanderbilt fans. It was probably 55-45 Vanderbilt if you did a crowd split, but you wouldn't know it based off of the noise in the building. And you have to credit the basketball team, obviously, for giving something to the fans to cheer about, and that was the way that they played defense there in the second half, outscoring Vanderbilt 38-30. They bullied Vanderbilt. They were the more physical team. They executed when it mattered most and prevented Vanderbilt from executing. So just a really impressive win, and it was a win that they really needed for their tournament resume, because the only true road win that stood out on the resume before that win was the Alabama game. You have a couple of other road wins. Georgia is the one that sticks out in my mind. But in terms of really impressive road wins, now you've got two, in Alabama and Vanderbilt. That was very important for Tennessee, hopefully locking up a 4 or 5 seed. Seems like they're the first team out of the 5 seed, and Alabama's ahead of them heading into Saturday's matchup between the two teams. But just really impressed by Tennessee's physicality and their grit. That was as good of an effort as Tennessee has given all season, just overall, but especially on the defensive end.
On the text box, you got some comments and questions in your direction, my man Ben McKee. I don't know if you have it pulled up. If you don't, then I can read them to you like a bedtime story, like you do your kids.
Well, I'll always take you reading me a bedtime story. But Louise Anival wants to know about Tennessee's pitching and how many hit batters. Is that the new pitching coach or just not locked in yet? Tennessee hit 10 batters this weekend, which is atrocious. I don't understand how you hit 10 batters in a weekend. But it did happen, and my take on it is it's probably that inexperienced early season jitters, because there's a lot of talent on the mound, and it just seemed like Tennessee really spiraled after getting off to a slow start on Saturday. It seemed like a team that was a little too comfortable after walking Kent State off on Friday night, playing on their heels too much, and a couple of things don't go their way early in the Saturday game. Despite having a home run in the bottom of the first from Henry Ford, things didn't really go well after that, and it just kind of felt like it spiraled on them. And those yips, if you want to call them that, can be contagious. Negative momentum can be contagious, and that's what it felt like happened with the baseball team as you got into Sunday, and you pull your senior lefty after the 4th inning. You bring in a freshman making his second appearance ever, and he hits the first batter, and then, if I remember correctly, it was a walk after that and another hit batter, or something along those lines. I believe it's 2 walks and hit by pitch to load the bases. And then the next guy comes in, Nick Abraham. He hits the first batter he sees. Did do a good job of bouncing back. Gets a double play ball that Manny Marin, Ariel Antigua couldn't turn up the middle, and then has to stay in there and do a little more work to get out of it. It just felt like it just spiraled on them. It's too early to say it was on the hitting coach, of course, or the pitching coach. Of course, Josh Reynolds is going to take the blame when his unit does not play well, right? But it's to me, it almost seemed like early season jitters and just the weekend spiraling on them. They have too much talent to have that lack of command. They gave up 13 walks and they hit 10 batters, 23 free passes. That's not going to cut it whatsoever. So of course the pitching coach gets the blame, but I don't think that's who they're going to be. I would be surprised if that ends up being just a really bad issue for Tennessee throughout the course of the season.
865-255-03.
And then Volfan asked me about the expanded college strike zone this year. Do you think our players are adjusting to it? Is there an expanded college strike zone this year? It's just college umpires are so wishy-washy and so inconsistent. It seems like every year from game to game, it's either a really big zone or a really tight zone. And it's hard as a hitter because you don't want to chase pitches, but you're also taught with 2 strikes to protect the zone and don't go down looking, but you also don't want to get yourself in a funk as a hitter by chasing pitches that you shouldn't swing at while trying to protect the zone. So I do think college umpires make it really hard on hitters at different points, but I think right now you certainly more so look at Tennessee's hitters not executing more so than you do the umpire. Maybe there is something to that, Volfan, because you are seeing a guy like Levi Clark expand the zone too much. I think that's more Levi Clark and him having some holes that he needs to correct. There's just too much swing and miss. There's too much chase in his swing, and there's other guys that are doing that as well. So maybe that's a byproduct of an expanded strike zone, but I think it's more of those hitters just needing to be more disciplined in the box and not chase pitches.
Are we still under the assumption that the SEC tournament won't really help our seeding, or do you think we should push for a deep run or try to win? But if we don't get some practice prep, in which do you think that is better for this team? Well, we haven't seen the SEC tournament mattering when it comes to seeding for the NCAA tournament. Rick Barnes complained about this a couple of years ago when he felt like his team deserved to be a number 2 seed with how they finished, and they were not a number 2 seed. And we haven't seen, since Rick Barnes has made those comments, we have not seen a team in SEC like move up a line because of their performance at the SEC tournament. The most important thing is playing your best basketball. Like, it ain't about seeding. It's about playing your best basketball. Because Tennessee, when they beat Auburn last year and went toe-to-toe with Florida, who went on to win the national championship, like, that was Tennessee playing some high-level basketball. And that's really all that mattered, in my opinion. Winning it, awesome, great. But, like, the way you play is more important than using that time for seeding. That committee, they already have their mind made up going into that Sunday. So, Ben, I don't know if you have anything to add or if you have a different opinion, but that's my take on that situation.
I have more of a question for you in a moment. First, I would add that I just think it's really a flip of the coin in terms of how the SEC tournament affects your play in the NCAA tournament, because we've seen both sides of it. We've seen Tennessee get bounced early in the SEC tournament. What, the Dalton Connect year, didn't they lose their first game? Or maybe their second game.
Yeah, lost to Mississippi State and got blown out. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Yes, but did they beat Ole Miss? I think I'm thinking the year before when they lost to FAU in the Sweet 16. That year, I think they beat Ole Miss and then lost to Missouri. If 3 years ago.
But like those two teams, we
saw get bounced early in the SEC tournament, and in 23 they go to the Sweet 16. Dalton's year in 24 they go to the Elite Eight after getting bounced early in the SEC tournament, and then last year they go to the SEC tournament title game after playing back-to-back really physical basketball games against Auburn and Florida. And remember, we had conversations about how worried should we be about this basketball team heading into the NCAA tournament after they just played two really physical basketball games on back-to-back days against Auburn, against Florida, two of the best teams in the country. How are they going to look this weekend in the NCAA tournament coming off of that? And they go to the Elite Eight. So I don't know. I think it's more of a flip of the coin, but we will certainly see how it plays out with this team. And maybe it's just about experience, which is something that this team doesn't really have, which leads me to my question is how important, like when I read Dustin Voll's question on the text box, the thought that popped into my mind in terms of should Tennessee fans want to see a deep run in Nashville at the SEC tournament is how valuable do you think that those games would be for Nate Ament, Troy Henderson, Amari Evans? Like Tennessee's going to be relying on guys that don't really have postseason experience, and not that the SEC tournament is the NCAA tournament, but last year, I'll tell you, it was pretty dang close. It felt like a Final Four game against Florida. It felt like a Final Four game against Auburn. How much of those inexperienced guys can gain experience in those type of moments in Nashville that will help them in the NCAA tournament? Like, there's obviously a benefit to that, but my question for you is, how much of a benefit do you think that there is?
I don't think it weighs heavier than just playing your best basketball as a team. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. I think there's benefits of, those young guys continuing to get reps and gain experience. I think for a guy like J.P. Estrella, the rest is probably more important because I think you're going to need him, and he continues to have issues physically with his foot. That Dalton Knecht year, it was one and done for Tennessee in the SEC tournament. Tennessee was the number 1 seed. And lost to Mississippi State, who was a 9th seed, by 17 points. And then beat St. Peter's, beat Texas, beat Creighton, and then lost to Purdue in the Elite Eight. So you give an example of, man, sometimes what you do in the SEC tournament doesn't determine what you do in the NCAA tournament. That's a prime example right there. But, yeah, for me, with J.P. Estrella getting healthy. And it's not like we have guys playing 35, 38 minutes like we did with Zakai Ziegler. So you worried about him, running out of gas.
Jacoby.
Well, Jacoby doesn't play as much as Zakai and doesn't Zakai, I thought, use more energy. But Gillespie is used a lot. And he's relied upon a lot offensively more than Zakai. And so it wouldn't be the worst thing if Tennessee doesn't win the SEC, but you can't go into a game not trying to win the game. Like, you prepare to win, you go try to play to win. If it doesn't happen, doesn't happen. It's like with Tennessee baseball a couple years ago when and you and I had this conversation. You said it. Hey, I don't know if Tennessee baseball is gonna go out there and really trying to go and win the SEC tournament. It's more about, the getting to Omaha and winning the whole deal. Well, they won the SEC tournament because, like, when the game was played, you play to win the game, and that's what they did. And so that's what should happen. But you're not crying that's the end of the world if you don't win the SEC tournament. And the tournament last year was a different level because it was so deep. And SEC was the best league in the land, and Tennessee was able to get to the finals in the best league in the land. So it made you feel really good about Tennessee's chances to go deep into that side tournament. I got 2 callers here, Ben. Let me get to them. 865-255-03. Good morning.
What up, brothers?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Just thought I'd holler at y'all too. It's been way too long since I last actually heard y'all voices on the phone.
Well, it's good to hear from you. Who we speaking with this morning?
Your boy Triple OG Jamie.
Triple OG Jamie. Oh man, how long has it been?
It's been a couple years, bro.
It's been a couple years, man. We miss you, and man, I'm glad to hear from you now.
Well, you know, things called life, the ups and downs, and you know, you both been on the earth long enough to know that tomorrow is never promised, and you celebrate the wins as you get them. So
that's right.
So, and I was speaking of celebrating the wins, you always want to beat down little brother, and no matter what it is, on Christmas, Uno, Tonk, Connect Four, basketball, football, I always want to beat down little brother.
Yeah. We talking about the Bears Lions, or we talking about Tennessee and Vanderbilt?
Well, we ain't talking about Bears Lions. I mean, considering that y'all won the division and we was last, somehow we was the only team that could beat y'all. I ain't never trust me. Well, you know, I can actually blame it on the NFL. You're talking about refereeing and umpiring. That's only get started on that game versus Ben's team. Even my older brother was like, my big brother was like, y'all should have won that. Then the week before, my cousins in California be like, man, y'all got robbed. Y'all got straight robbed. You know that was pass interference. I was like, we ain't talking about it. So I'm sitting out, you know, seeing videos talking about the NFL's rigged. Don't even get me started. The league's been rigged against me my whole lifetime.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have got you started, man. I'm sorry.
No, you all good. No, I just can't. But, man, congratulations to you, Bears. I mean, I was happy for you, you know, because it was like, about time, you know, about time Swain gets the winner up there in Chicago.
Yeah, you're right about that.
No, I mean, trust me, I've been there, done that. So I feel you. I mean, like I said, I ain't too happy for too many of y'all, but I was happy for you because, you know, I got nothing but love. But, you know, and Ben, I don't know what y'all doing that, bringing that man in to be your head coach. To be continued, I guess.
I'm not too thrilled about it. I don't think he's a bad coach. He's good, and that's fine. He's good, that's fine. But we've had good for the last decade, and we don't have any playoff wins to show for it. So I don't know that there was an upgrade there. Of course, that would have been hard because I'm a big Mike Tomlin guy, but Mike also did not have the playoff success the last decade. So I was hoping that we could make some wholesale changes and get moving, but it feels like we've got the offensive version of Mike Tomlin now.
Exactly. But I'm, you know, hey, at least you say you won the division again, so over Baltimore and everybody else. So you still got that. You know, y'all still the big brother. It's y'all house till somebody take it away from you.
Yeah. All right, Triple O. Enough sorry NFL talk. I know you ain't calling in and talk about the Steelers and the Bears and the Lions. I don't want to get you off topic here.
No, I just mainly just want to hear your voice, man. I missed y'all. You know, that's my main thing. I mean, I should call more often, but, you know, it's been some health things, but I'm on the upswing. I'm like a roller coaster. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes a little down, but I just wanted to remind you, too, that I love you very much.
Well, I think about you all the time, man, especially when the Lions out here cooking. And, man, I'm just glad to hear you. And, man, glad to hear your voice. You know, it's a reminder that, you know, it's about relationships. At the end of the day, you know, sports is sports. Everything else is everything else. And it's about relationships and, you know, letting folks know how you feel about them. You know, I haven't talked to Wes on the phone in a while, and I've been like, at the beginning when I first heard the news, you know, I was kind of beating myself up that I haven't talked to him, and but I'm okay now. But you need to let people know how you feel about them and check in on your folks, and
yeah,
you just never.
I was sitting there telling my because I was, you know, last time I hollered at you on, you know, message, it's like, man, I ain't said nothing to Swain since 3 months ago. Like, what's wrong with me? That's not me. And, then, him and my youngest son, Ace, same birthday. And I'm like, why am I not talking to my people like I should? And then I had to, you self-reflect, but you can't beat yourself up. You just remember, every day we get a chance to see another one. That's love, grace, and mercy from up above. So we have the opportunity to change. And if we can change, then we have to change. And I will do better by both of you. And I'm sorry. I apologize. I love you both. I really do.
Man, much love, Triple O.
All right. I'll holler at y'all later so somebody else can get on here.
Hey, thank you, man. Good to hear from you.
All right, brother.
865-255-03. I had somebody holding. Give us a call back. There we go. Good morning.
Dang, I thought you hung up on me for a minute.
That was an accident. My bad, Mississippi Ball. It was an accident. My bad.
All right. Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say for a minute. First of all, prayers for the Rucker family, and continue prayers for Ben and everyone and his family. And just life is so short. You never know when, you never know how. Just be thankful every day that you make it home safely is a blessing. Couple questions, like when it comes to Tennessee basketball, I'm thinking about a specific player. I watched the games, the last couple games. I don't have a clue what Jalen Carey is doing on the opposite side of the ball. I would like to see Dwayne Brown more. I think his name is Dwayne Brown. He's Brown, I know that.
Yeah.
Jalen Carey missing bunnies and layups. I'm like, the game could have been a lot different if he just made 3 or 4 shots that is easy. When it comes to baseball, I'm not going to say too much about baseball because like I always say about basketball and stuff like that, like those type of sports have long seasons, and Tennessee's a young baseball team, inexperienced team. So to the people calling out Erlander and all that, Elander and all that, that's just crazy because, I think baseball is minimum regular season, 50 games, So jumping out there and judging a baseball team off of one bad weekend, and it's not like that we sucked on defense. It's like, really, we couldn't get the bats going, and the pitchers looked great to me. It's just coming out the bullpen. And last, I want to say, I'm happy and I'm disappointed that the Joy didn't get his other year, but this was the year supposed to have been a Faison George battle anyway, so I'm ready to move on with that and let the best guy win. And the last thing I want to say, I think Tennessee Lady Vols has found the counselor, and the team, they look better without the counselor that people were speaking of. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Hey, thank you, Mississippi Fall, Janai Barker. And we're going to have to get into that on another day. With Andre Carter's comments that were dead on the money, and folks trying to make it seem like Candace Parker's comments were addressing Andrea's comments. I need people to use their brains. Candace Parker's comments were well before Andrea Carter made hers. Candace was talking about former players posting on social media. Andrea Carter, on the spot, was asked what's wrong with Tennessee basketball, and she did her job as a professional in the moment and did it great. And she was spot on with her assessment of what's going on. But the Lady Vols did play better without Janai Parker and Janai Barker, and so you wonder what took so long for you to make this move, and if she's been the issue this entire time. But again, we will have to talk about that on another day. Thank you, Mississippi Vol, for the call. It was great to hear Triple OG Jamie, man. We haven't talked to him in so long, and Triple O has been. He was here during Swain and Rucker days. He was here during Swain Event when it was Stokes, and Swain Event when it was Ben McKee, and so it's just good to hear you, my man Triple O. It really is.
Jalen Carey was the last one in the gym yesterday after practice. We talked last week about how he was kind of fighting Rick on all the little things.
Feels like it.
We talked about that, so do want to mention that he was the last one to leave the gym after practice yesterday, was working on some post moves with the coaches, was shooting free throws.
Right.
So we'll see if that pays off tonight. And a tricky test at Missouri. Another late start, tricky game against a pretty solid team on the road. This Tennessee's going to have to make sure it's locked in to win tonight, or else they will not win. Dwayne Brown, also one of the last ones to leave the court yesterday, working on post moves as well. Missouri's got a lot of size, so we'll see what happens with J.P. Estrella. I'm more encouraged about his potential involvement tonight than I was at Vanderbilt. I think he's questionable, but I see a world in which he plays. And I don't know if he is going to play or not. I don't. But he was a pretty full participant in practice yesterday. He looked like a guy yesterday in practice that is going to play tonight. So we'll see if that actually happens. But Tennessee's going to need its post players because Missouri has a lot of size down low in the paint. And Jalen Carey, Dwayne Brown, Felix Lakpara, and if JP plays, those guys are going to have to play well.
Phrasing, Ben. Phrasing.
Why don't you just grow up? Who do your Kentucky Wildcats play tonight?
I don't want to grow up, Ben. That's the last thing I want to do.
I hear you.
Let's grow up, man. I like being a kid. I don't know who the Kentucky Wildcats play. They play.
Y'all gonna have a new coach next season?
I talked about this yesterday on the show. They play Mississippi State, I want to say.
I'll let Josh Hubbard go off.
I think they play Mississippi State. But
No.
They don't play Mississippi State?
Mississippi State plays Alabama tomorrow. Kentucky plays South Carolina.
That's right, South Carolina. Yeah, they'll beat South
You
Carolina.
got your bad SEC basketball teams that wear maroon mixed up.
Yeah, they'll beat South Carolina. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough test tonight because big boy, Mark Williams.
Mitchell
Williams, Mark Mitchell, transfer from Duke. He's been putting in 20 plus point performances the last couple of games. The last game, he led his team in points, rebound, and assists. Missouri beat Vanderbilt as well. They made 10 threes. Tennessee's the only team to be able to beat Vanderbilt this year, shooting the amount of threes they shot and made. To beat Vanderbilt, you got to make 8-9 threes, and Tennessee was able to beat Vanderbilt shooting 4. So this is gonna be a tough test for sure. You got to make sure that Missouri, who has a terrible home crowd, that they don't allow that home crowd to get into it. So,
well, look, all you need to know is Missouri beat Florida. Florida's the best team in the league. That makes Missouri better than Florida.
I guess so. Well, I have to take kids to the doctor because my house is
slam
with some sickness.
Just give them some tussin. They'll be all right.
Man, I don't think that works. This some new stuff going on right here, man.
A new strand.
This new strand, man. So I mean, you can hear it in my voice. So, but I don't really get sick like them. But I gotta make sure they good, man. I gotta make sure they good. So it's part of being a grown up here. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. I thought it was going to get warm. Some critters were out and about, and then it got cold again. And they said, not so fast, my friend. If you have issues with critters in your crawl space or in your basement, and you need to remove them and fix the issue from happening again, you call Alpha Wildlife. AlphaWildlife.com. Your go-to for wildlife removal, veteran-owned, big-time Tennessee fans, serving Tennessee, parts of South Carolina, parts of Kentucky. That's alphawildlife.com. For my man Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Continue to support Wes Rucker and his family by going to the GoFundMe account and please donating and helping his family. Ben, love you, man. And callers, thank you so much. Swain Event family, love y'all. We'll do it again on Thursday. Peace and love. We are out. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue.